YouTube, Michigan Prepared back. Listen, I'm bored. So, got to thinking. Let's talk about some things that maybe you guys should get. If you're serious about getting prepared, if you're watching my channel, or if you're watching other channels on what to do, let's talk about some things you should get. A lot of people in my Michigan Food Shortage Watch group on Facebook, and some other groups that I follow, you know, they're always asking, well, what should I do for backup electricity? What should I do for this? What should I do for that? So maybe we'll cover a few things. Alright, there's a lot of prepared channels that and groups that I watch and follow. A lot of people are saying, alright, well, you know, get yourself a generator. Make sure you have a chainsaw and maybe a backup shark chain and some tools, a couple extra spark plugs and things like that. But here's the reality, people. Okay? As much as I hate to admit it, solar is probably where it's at right now, alright? I don't have any pictures of my setup right now. And if I do, while I'm editing this video, I'll post them up here somewhere. Photos of the little setup I have. Anyway, just to give you a rundown, I got a 32-foot Forest River 5 travel trailer. The refrigerator in there does not run on propane like some of the older model campers do. Mine strictly runs on 110 volts, but it's a very low amperage fridge. Yes, it does have a compressor in it. It's a very small compressor, so it doesn't draw very much electricity whatsoever. So I'm able to run that on my solar power. Now, when I bought the camper, I had two 12-volt batteries, and man, they just did not. Well, first of all, 12-volt batteries do not have a very good amp hour rating at all. I think the ones that I had were like 65 amp hour, and I had two batteries, so that means I got what, 130 amp hours, and it just did not last long at all. I would always have to plug the camper into my truck, start the truck, and charge up my batteries halfway through the night, or charge them really good before I went to bed. Even though I had solar hooked up, the storage in the batteries just wasn't good enough. So I upgraded to 4 6-volt golf cart batteries. That's all I have right now. But each golf cart battery I have, and I've created two 12-volt banks, but each golf cart battery I have has twice the amp hours that what, you know, two 12-volt batteries had. So since I created two 12-volt banks, each 6-volt battery is roughly, what is it, I forget, 200 amp hour. Anyway, I got like 460 amp hours altogether with the 4 batteries. And I have 4 100-watt Renogy solar panels. I bought them for $100 each off of Amazon. And then I got a 30 amp MPPT solar charge controller. And granted, I could use a little bit of extra battery storage and maybe a couple extra panels. What I have right now, because I tested it over the 4th of July weekend, it's absolutely phenomenal. The only time I ran my generator is to run the air conditioner inside my travel trailer, just because it was quite hot where we were. And we had our little dogs with us, and my wife's little dog is a little princess, and she doesn't like the heat very well. So The only time I ever fired up a generator was just to run the air conditioner to cool off the little dogs during the hottest part of the day. Other than that, my solar ran the lights inside the camper, ran the refrigerator, the igniter on my stove, the igniter on my hot water heater, and they never died once. Never once did they go out. So if you guys are thinking about relying on a diesel generator, a propane generator, I just need you to think about something, man. Like, fuel is going to be in short supply. Hell, we just had as a matter of fact, I screenshot it. I'll post it somewhere. There was another pipeline that just burst down in Texas. Natural gas pipeline. I don't know if it's the same facility that had a pipe blow about a month ago, or if it's a separate facility. And I don't know how much gas we lost, or what kind of damage it's going to do to us, considering we're already in a shortage, they say. But yeah, if you guys are planning on operating on like a home generator off of diesel or propane or natural gas, or guys, that's going to be your downfall. All right, you guys got to think outside the box. If you guys think, all right, well, I got like a little 86 Honda Spree, if gas prices get too bad, I'll just ride that little Honda Spree, little moped. No, you got to think outside the box. What if all these gas, all the gas and everything else gets shut down? How are you going to pump the gas if we're in a blackout? If Russia decides to use its tactical low-yield nuclear weapons, and the EMP burst that it gives out blows out our power grid, because our power grid is extremely weak, extremely fragile, and a couple low-yield nukes can throw us back to the Stone Age for quite a while. I mentioned in another video that the power companies are currently taking old transformers and pulling parts out of them to try to keep damaged transformers working. Whereas before, they used to just go ahead and replace them with brand new transformers, but we can't get the parts. So, I mean, if the power is wiped out, you can't pump gas. The pump stations to the natural gas companies are going to go offline. You're not going to have that. If you live in the city, you're going to have water until, because the big, huge water towers, it's gravity fed. And they're really tall, so you'll have water until those run out. I can't guarantee that it won't be contaminated, but you'll have water till they run out. People with diesel generators and stuff, yeah, you'll run it until you run out of gas. Then what? Get yourself a small solar system, guys. Yeah, I invested a little bit of money into it. Yeah, it hurt the wallet a little bit, but guess what? Now that I have it, these batteries I have are good for up to 10 years if I maintain them properly. That's 10 years worth of power. And then if stuff is still bad, well, I guess I'll figure something else out from there. I got a little project I'm gonna be working on, and if you guys are interested on a self-sustained power system off of an automotive alternator, a perpetual machine that doesn't use any energy to keep it going, but it will go non-stop, I'm gonna be working on something, and I'll record that and I'll upload it here. It's gonna be kind of interesting. I had a pretty big epiphany, and on my day off I gotta go somewhere and buy some parts, really cheap parts by the way, to make this machine work. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, guys, and I think you guys will get a kick out of it. But all right, back to some more stuff that you should prepare on. All right, I mentioned chainsaws. Chainsaws run on gas. So you guys need to get yourself like an old lumberjack handsaw or something. Not one of those massive two-person saws, but a decent saw, and then like a folding saw for a decent long one for little limbs to chop those up into pieces. Maybe get yourself a decent axe, and if it's got a wood handle, pick up a couple extra wood handles. A split and maul, definitely a must. Because over the 4th of July weekend, me and my father-in-law, we were trying to split some wood. And I was trying to use my little lightweight axe on some wood that was a little damp, and man, that was hell. And then I broke out my split and maul, put a little edge on it, and it went right through it. Split that wet wood or damp wood like it was nothing. So you might want to have one of each, guys. A good hatchet is a must. Outside of your little folding saws and maybe your bow saws, another good thing to have is, well, I haven't really tested it out, so I can't vouch for it too good, but it looks like a chainsaw chain with a couple fabric handles on either side. So basically you put that around whatever you're trying to cut and you pull it back and forth, and it's supposed to saw right through. I did use it on a couple decent sized branches out in my backyard that had fallen out of the tree, and it cut right through them pretty much effortless. But as far as durability goes, the ones that I personally bought, I don't know how durable they are, but I have several of them, so you know what I mean. As far as your food preps, guys, I'm sorry, I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but once again, we're going to go back to the old beans and rice. Calories and protein. I think somebody was telling me that, good Lord, keep burping. Somebody was telling me like a 20-pound bag of rice has up to 80,000 calories. And of course, your dried beans, I mean, hell, if you vacuum seal those, they'll stay good for quite a while. You know what I mean? And that's got all your protein in it. And then you can doctor it up however you want with canned meats, canned chilies. Hell, I'm not a fan of it. I've only eaten it one time in my life, and I tried it just to see if it was something I wanted to store in my pantry for long term. And that is Spam. It smells like wet canned cat food. The stuff smells horrible. And it actually kind of smells even worse when you cook it. But as far as flavor goes, I don't get it. For something that smells so bad when you open it, so bad when you're cooking it, as long as you fry it to the point it's got a little crust on there, it's actually pretty good. Put a little Red Hot on there, oh yeah. Maybe a slice of cheese or something. I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, your beans and rice, you can top it with anything, guys. Like I said, get those foil McCormick packs or whatever brand you choose of the seasonings, whether it be taco seasoning, stroganoff seasoning, burrito seasoning. I mean, there's so many different seasonings out there. I mean, you guys can choose for yourself what you'd like. You know, I'm just trying to give you ideas on stuff that you could use to doctor up the beans and rice. But it's relatively still cheap. I'd urge you guys to go get it while you can. The supply chain's only going to get worse, and the food shortages are only going to get worse. Farmers are reporting that their crops ain't coming in, and in some parts of the U.S., farmers are actually having to cull their cows. Just because of the drought and the severe heat and in some parts of our country, it's just not financially wise to keep these head of cattle around, so they're culling them. That's going to lead to food shortages, of course, milk shortages, whatever. I haul milk for a living, by the way, out of Fair Oaks, Indiana. And right now, I can guarantee you there's no shortage of milk. Especially if you guys go to your local grocery store and you see those 1 liter expensive things of Fairlife milk. That's what I have behind me right now. Extremely raw, unpasteurized milk. It's gonna go to Fairlife, and they're gonna do their thing to it and make it really tasty. Speaking of which, a lot of people don't know this, okay? Fairlife milk. If you guys are looking for a milk, because I've been looking for powdered milk and I can't find it. Or if I can find it, it's extremely expensive, okay? Fairlife milk, because it's ultra pasteurized. And I didn't believe it, but I think there was a news article or something on the internet about it. But Fairlife milk doesn't need to be refrigerated until you get ready to open it. If you need a gallon of milk and you get ready to open it, put it in the fridge for 3-4 hours before you're ready to use it, or the night before you know you're going to use it, and then just refrigerate it after you open it. But a couple buddies of mine that haul the finished product, they always get free product, you know what I mean? And I know a couple guys that have had one gallon jugs, or not 1 gallon, but half-gallon jugs of Fairlife milk in their garages for over a year. They go to open them after they chill them, just like you bought them out of the store yesterday. Don't ask me how it works, because I don't know. Other than Fairlife does some crazy ultra pasteurization to their milk. And it is literally shelf stable. So if you guys want, stock up on that. That's just a little hint, tip, or trick, whatever you want to classify it as. But alright guys, let's move on. As far as medical supplies go, hospitals and everything else, they're running out of medical supplies. You're hearing reports all around the country that they don't have the dyes to do MRIs. They don't have the proper utensils or the gas or the whatever the hell they use to knock you out before they do surgeries. So hospitals are postponing surgeries. I hear that people are going to go, people have been going in around our country to have their blood drawn, and their doctors and nurses are having to basically assemble the syringes and not use all the right stuff, and they're only using 1 or 2 vials as opposed to last time I had my blood taken, I think they used like 3 or 4 vials, but they're only using 1 or 2 now to try to save on them. The blood draw kits, they're in short supply. Hospitals are having a hard time getting them. My point is, guys, if hospitals are having a hard time getting their supplies, you may want to stock up on what you can get your hands on now. So, to go through a little bit of what I've done, I have a couple suture kits to be able to do stitches. I have some athletic compression bandages. They're self-sticky. I don't even know what they're called. Self-adhesive, whatever. They don't feel sticky, but they just stick to themselves. So you can wrap something up really nice and good, just stick it to yourself, and you're done. If you had a broken arm, one of those compression wraps could be used. Stick a... Damn it, my nose keeps itching. Sorry, guys. Stick a flat piece of steel that's wrapped in a piece of cloth or something on your arm to stabilize your arm. If you got a little fracture right here, put that piece of steel under your arm and then wrap it with that compression bandage. I mean, if worse comes to worse, that's going to help stabilize your arm, right? Invest in a couple medical slings to put your arm up in a sling if need be. Tourniquets. Tourniquets are a big one. Invest in a few of those. I think you can get them in, last I checked, you can still get like multi-packs off of Amazon. The decent ones, the Velcro ones. Reusable, whatnot. But I have the suture kits. I have a couple giant bottles of iodine, basically to clean out any wounds. If my daughter, say for instance, got hurt, myself or my wife, I'd be able to clean the area, clean the wound really well, and stitch it up if it needed to be. I don't have any of the medication that I need to numb the area. Myself, I could probably grin and bear it. I've had stitches before. It is what it is. I mean, I got tattoos everywhere. It is what it is. I'm no stranger to needles. Not that I like them, but if I had to, I could, you know. My daughter, on the other hand, that one's going to be a little trickier. Hopefully, you know, if I had to stitch her up, one could only hope that maybe she passes out from the, I don't know, we'll call it excitement. I mean, I hope she doesn't pass out, but I would rather her pass out and then wake up to her arm or leg or whatever being stitched up, as opposed to having to sit there and go through that pain wide awake. Granted, she is 13, and she is pretty tough, but I don't know about all that. My wife, I think she could take it. She'd probably cry a little bit, but she could take it. So yeah, suture kits, iodine, the compression wraps. I also have a few ace bandages. I got totes in my pantry that are, you know, that are full of cotton swabs, rubbing alcohol, peroxide, Tylenols, ibuprofen, Bayer aspirins. That's another thing, guys. A Bayer low-dose aspirin. If you guys got any sort of heart issues, that's something you may want to stock up on, guys, is like a Bayer low dose, or get a bottle of aspirin, whatever your doctor recommends. Again, I'm no health professional. I'm just telling you what I have and what I plan to do. So consult your doctor before you do anything, but I'm just telling you what I do. Let's see, what else do I got? I have a couple. I have a couple really good quality, decent hatchets. I have a couple really good quality pocket knives. Actually, I have more than a couple. I have quite a few, actually. Pocket knives, that is. But I have a couple decent quality hatchets, pocket knives, boxes of matches, guys. Don't depend on that big lighter. I mean, yeah, they're freaking awesome, and I got several of them. You know what I mean? I've been hoarding them just because I don't feel like rubbing two sticks together out in the middle of nowhere, trying to get a fire going. So yeah, I got a few big lighters. Those are great to have. Fill a small little shoebox sized tote with those. You guys will be good to go. What else do I got? I got two-way radios. They're not high quality. They're the cheaper ones off of Amazon. They're called Baofeng or something like that. Again, not sponsored by those guys either. But I got, what do I have? I have 7 of them. I had 8 of them. I gave one to a buddy of mine. Because that buddy of mine is, we're preparing together pretty much. If the cities get too bad and I go, he goes. Or if he goes, I go. Vice versa, whatever. But we're going to need, you know, if you guys got a community together and you're worried about stuff going down in the city and you got a bug out plan put together, you guys are going to need two-way radios to help secure your perimeter. Again, if the world really goes to hell in a handbasket and you guys have to hightail it out of the city to survive, well, it's only a matter of time until some clever people find you, and they're going to try to take what you got. Maybe harm somebody in your group. I don't know. So yeah, medical supplies, food. As far as water goes, I covered it in another video, but I got a zero water pitcher with a couple of not a couple, but several extra filters. The zero water pitcher, in my opinion, is just as good, if not better, than the actual Berkey. There's a guy who does a bunch of different tests on the water pitchers, the water filters on YouTube. His name is Project Farm. Look him up and watch the video. It's actually really interesting. The Zero Water actually probably does the best out of them all as far as filtering out contaminants. Does even better than the Berkey. I know there's a lot of people that swear by it. I know there's a lot of people, if you guys are watching this video, you're going to call BS, but I tell you what, he's pretty thorough. Go watch him. Again, Project Farm on YouTube. Look it up. Type in Project Farm water filter comparison or whatever, water pitcher comparison. I forget exactly how he has it titled, but that's how I looked it up again and it popped up. Yeah, I'm not sure, guys. I think that's about it. But stock up on your... stock up on your medical. Stock up on your food. Have your car looked at, all right? If there's anything that's getting close to getting worn out, buy the extra parts or get it replaced now while you still can, because there's a lot of dealerships that got hundreds of cars just sitting in storage waiting on parts that are, well, at the moment, non-existent. You can't find them, can't get them, can't even order them. Short supply, supply and demand. Trying to think of what else right off the top of my head, guys. Sorry, I'm a truck driver. I'm driving, as you can tell, and I don't have a script right in front of me, so I bounce around a little bit. Quite literally, actually. I don't know, guys. I think that's about it. Let's see. We covered food, water, medical. Oh, that's another thing you guys might want to consider. Stock up on hygiene, okay? I went to the Dollar Tree, the dollar store, whatever the hell you want to call it. And that's where I got those little shoebox totes, okay? I stocked up on kitchen matches, to go, little travel size shampoos, deodorants, conditioners, mouthwashes, bars of soap, little itty bitty things of body wash. Stocked up on toothpicks, batteries. That might be another thing you guys want to consider, is barter items. Somebody may come knocking on your door and says, hey, look, I really need some batteries. I have a bar of soap or two. I would be willing to trade you for some batteries. Or, I got a small bag of rice. I'd be willing to trade you for 4 batteries. There's going to be a lot of that going on. If what I think is going to happen happens, oh yeah, you guys are going to want to have some barter items. Salt, sugar, coffee, tea, soaps, matches, cheapo batteries, little dollar store disposable flashlights, you know what I mean? Anything to help get somebody through. You can buy big ass things of those, like Tylenol, individually wrapped, 2 per packet Tylenol thingies, or ibuprofen, or whatever. I think there's like 1,000 count in a big old box. You can give them 2 or 3 of those little packets out of the box. So essentially, 4 to 6 Tylenol for, I don't know, a couple spoonfuls of coffee or something. Speaking of coffee, ground coffee, coffee grounds in the regular things, they will go bad. But for whatever reason, instant coffee is shelf stable for quite a long time. Didn't know if you guys knew that either. Get some extra socks, guys. You're going to be on your feet a lot if this world goes kaput. And dry socks is going to make the difference between surviving or not surviving. If you got blisters and your feet are killing you, well, you're not going to be able to do very much now, are you? I don't know, guys. That's about it. I think I covered most of the stuff that I was wanting to cover. How to get prepared. I'll start a garden now. Get some chickens like I posted earlier in a little 3-minute video or so. Check that one out. Definitely get yourself some protection, okay? A firearm is fine, but you're going to want to make sure you have spare parts for that firearm. You're going to want to make sure you got plenty of ammo for that firearm. What a lot of people don't consider is you may want like a high-powered pellet rifle, just a .177 caliber pellet rifle. You know, there's probably going to be a lot of people sitting around campfire eating squirrel on a stick. I don't know. But it's better than wasting some self-defense ammo. You know what I mean? Or you may want to consider something not necessarily whisper quiet, but a hell of a lot quieter than a firearm, and that would be a compound bow, a crossbow, a recurve bow, something, anything. Because I mean, hell, worst comes to worst, you could always sharpen a stick with like a recurve bow, right? And use that for whatever. Another thing, guys, which is really, really cheap, would be like packages of fish hooks, a couple spools of fishing line. Even if you got to make a fishing pole out of a stick, hey, at least now you can go fishing and you can eat, right? I'm not saying you got to go spend thousands of dollars on tackle or anything. But anyway, guys, I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions, please leave in the comments below. Just put it in big, bold, capital letters, question. And when I get a chance, I'll get around to them, I'll answer them, and if I can, and we'll go from there. But you guys stay safe out there. Keep your heads on a swivel. The civil unrest is getting real. And make sure you stock up. Like, share, subscribe. Michigan Prepare It Out. Y'all have a great day.